Hello, Scarecrow Video. My name is Patrick Sweat. I am a Spanish teacher in Seattle, and I've been a client, a customer of Scarecrow Video since 1997. When I first moved to Seattle, I discovered this video store, and I've been a faithful customer forever. I've been a teacher in Seattle. I teach Spanish for 22 years, and Scarecrow has always lent me movies and lent me even PAL VCR players to be able to show movies to my students. And some of the movies that I love to show my students are Pedro Almodovar. Why Pedro Almodovar? Well, first of all, there's like 25 movies you can choose from, which is a great thing. Also, it holds a very special place in my heart. Growing up in Costa Rica, a young gay teenage boy, I discovered his films, and they spoke to me in a way that no other films in English or in Spanish did. I started very early watching Almodovar. I remember going to the University of Costa Rica to the film forum classes and watching Law of Desire, which is probably the first gay movie I ever saw. With Antonio Banderas when he was very, very young. And I was converted into a fan of Pedro Almodovar. This VHS tape, by the way, which I remember renting when I was 14 years old, at the end of the VHS tape, there's the previews for Derek Jarman's Caravaggio, which forced me to watch all Derek Jarman's movies. So, you know, watching Almodovar movies made me watch other movies by many directors, and also made me get into all types of music, Chavela Vargas, the music from the Movida Madrileña, which was a movement of punk rock gays and lesbians and drug addicts in Spain in the early 80s, a response to the death of Franco. After the death of Franco, Spain had this opening called La Movida Madrileña, in Madrid mostly, and Pedro Almodóvar is one of the main voices of this art movement. I've been using these movies in my school for many years, and I will continue to do so. A couple fun things about some of these movies. As you can see, most of them are available on DVD. Some, like Pepi Lucy Bomb, is not available on DVD here in the States, but you can find it on DVD for PAL if you want to. I have it myself. Something I love about Almodóvar's movies is how, even though many scholars of film can divide his movies into like the vanguard movies, I guess, and then his more professional movies, and then his more emotional movies, and his more social movies. I like to think of all the Almodóvar movies as one group, and I cannot really break them apart. Even though there's movies that are very different ones from others, all the movies talk about each other. I think a fun thing to do, if you choose to help Scarecrow Video and come and rent all these movies one after the other, watch them in order. A great thing to do is to just watch them to find the things that each movie relates to the other movies. In every movie there's characters that are repeated. In every movie there's characters that you will find in another movie, maybe the exact same character or very different, but there's a bunch of connections between one movie and another. For example, in The Flower of My Secret, the main character is this woman who is like a romance novel writer, and she is having big trouble taking off her booties. So she runs to her friend to help her take off her boots, and her friend is a nurse, and she is giving a seminar on how to address human transplants to people who have had relatives just die. This friend is talking to a nurse called Manuela. Years later, in All About My Mother, the main character is a nurse called Manuela who works with human transplants. And these kind of things, and something that's very important is that in The Flower of My Secret, the best friend of the writer is a film director, which makes us think that probably that writer gave her script to the film director, and the film director, years later, made a movie about that story. These kind of connections happen from in every single one of his movies. There's things that repeat themselves, things that if you are a fan of Almodovar, and it's easy to become one, the movies are movies you can watch again and again and again, because every time you watch them, you're going to find more little surprises, more connections. And I'm really excited about the upcoming movie with Tilda Swinton called La Voz Humana, which is the spine of one of my very favorite movies, Law of Desire, which is also based on La Voz Humana. So we can see Almodovar moves through time in a beautiful manner. I highly recommend it. There's 20 plus movies to choose from. If you haven't started, now is a good day. Thank you very much, and help support Scarecrow Video.